I just thought I'd have a chat about Martin Dare, who sadly passed away recently. Bit of a shock. I only came across it on YouTube because I saw a thumbnail with him in it, and I thought to myself, what's going on here? Because he had been quite quiet. I did have him on my Facebook friends list, and I've put a couple of off-camera builds up recently, and he hasn't responded. It's rather unusual because he's always been supportive of me on Facebook and also on my YouTube channel, as I have him himself, because I held him in high regard. He was a lovely bloke. He was straight down the earth sort of fella, and he said it how it was. There was very little bullshit, if any, come out of his mouth. Whenever he opened his mouth, it was always interesting, and it was always genuine as well. So he's going to be sadly missed. I used to enjoy watching his videos. I must admit, I'm not a big lover of the unboxings he done, but when it came to him having his camera down on the bench and watching him restore these vehicles, it was an education. And there are very many ways of sort of restoring these vehicles. He had his way, and I've got mine, and other people have got theirs. But I always found I learnt something from Martin. He always seemed to give that extra little bit, and give a little bit of inspiration, let's say, to go off and either make a jig or something to aid your restoration or something like that, which I've duly done. And yeah, he was an inspiration, and he was a lovely fella. I first came across him when I started looking at Marty's Matchbox makeovers in Australia, but he tended to restore the smaller die-cast stuff, the Matchbox stuff, and I took an interest in it, but I thought to myself, it's far too small for these hands. So I then went and had a look on YouTube, as you do. And I came across a local fella actually by the name of Bob Willis, who at the time, his YouTube channel was called Corgi Bob's Restorations, I think it was. And I did nearly meet him one day. I was at a touring train fair meet at Newton Abbot Racecourse, and I saw him in the distance, but it was so crowded and he was on his way out, so I never got the chance to say hello to him. And sadly, he's passed away as well. It just gives you an idea of the fact that you know, it can happen any time, and you don't have to actually fall ill to pass away. It could just happen just like that. So thankfully Martin was quick. From what I've read or heard, it was fairly quick. He didn't suffer, which is a good thing, but it's just a shock, really. Yeah, like I say, I first came across him when I started restoring diecast. I think he started about the same time as me, and in between his videos, he used to drop a little hint as to what he used to do before, and I found out he used to fly model aircraft years ago. Now, in those days, it was old school. You had to buy a kit and you had to build it, and then you had to fly it and crash it. I thought to myself, well, this guy's coming from my sort of era, and he's hands-on as well. So my ears pricked up, and I started following him, and sure enough, I did learn quite a lot off of him, and he was very, very knowledgeable on diecast. His channel's called Martin Dare's Dinky Restorations, but he also obviously done Corgis, and he done Tonkers as well. Yeah, so I started following him, and I started getting these snippets, and I got to know him sort of fairly well, and I followed him and he followed me. At the time, my YouTube channel was called something rather stupid, because I started this channel up to put my motorcycle videos up, because it was filling up space on my computer, and somebody said, well, why don't you put it up on YouTube? Use it like a cloud storage. And I thought, okay then. So I just remembered this stupid name I came across years ago. It used to make me chuckle, and I called the channel Peregrine Fortescue Smythe. Even I have trouble saying it, and I've since shortened it to PFS. But Martin came up with the idea of calling me Mr. P, and it caught on actually. It's not so much now. Now I've got rid of the stupid triple-barreled name, yeah, that's where my PFS comes from, and I haven't been called Mr. P for quite some time actually. I did have a little joke with him quite some time ago in a Facebook Messenger, and he sort of giggled at that. He remembered the channel name, but yeah, it's a great loss to the diecast community. He was a member of the DMC, which is a diecast group, and like me and everybody else, we all thought the world of him. You know, he was a lovely fella. There was no side to him, and if he did criticise something, he did it in such a way that you didn't feel it was nasty or anything. You know, he was really a really nice bloke, and he will be sorely missed. I certainly will miss him anyway. So yeah, that's life. I'm afraid. You know, we're not all here for eternity, and we never know when we're going. But yeah, right. Well, that's all I want to say really on Martin. Condolences to his family and his friends and that, because it must have been a hell of a shock just to see him pass away so quickly. And I was looking forward to him sorting out his powder coating, because he was gonna set up a powder coating affair in his shed, and I think that's what he was doing when he passed on, unfortunately. That would have been interesting, because he was always a hands-on guy. He never asked questions. He had answers to questions, but he never used to ask questions. He just used to go out and do it, and he's a bit like me in that respect. So yeah, another one gone, unfortunately. So I shall probably leave you now with a diecast restoration, just to finish the video off. So thanks very much for watching, and hopefully I'll see you soon. Right, so what I've done here, I took the castings to work, blasted them, gave it an etch primer, and I've done a repair on this because this here was broken, if you remember, and this is working quite nice now. Unfortunately, it's knocking some paint off. Now the paint, for some reason, on this doesn't seem to be going off. It seems to be tacky and soft, and it's been over a week now, so I don't know what's going on there. Really don't know. But what I've used on there, I've used one of these little clips that I've fashioned. I've taken it out of here and straightened it, and I've super glued it on there to act as a clip. And it works quite well, actually. I'm well chuffed with the way that's turned out. So that was just the only repair I had to do. But unfortunately, when I was putting the wheels back on, the wheels started breaking up. The tyres all of a sudden started getting perishing marks. And yeah, it started to go downhill when I started putting it together. But yeah, I'm pleased with the outcome. It's not original colour. I recently bought a blue spray can for a project, and I thought, I'll tell you what, I'll do it blue. And yeah, it's turned out all right. Now I need to thank crap old Nick, because he restored one of these. If it wasn't for him, I wouldn't have a clue how this bloody mechanism would work. And it was thanks to him that I watched his video and I was able to see how it all worked. So it's the jib's going up and down now, and I pull that out and engage the hook, and the hook's going up and down. So that's okay. So that's all sorted. The glass area, I've actually polished that up with some 7,000 and 12,000 sanding sticks, bit of auto glim, and then in the polish, and it's come up really nice. No problem with that. So apart from the wheels and the tyres let me down, it's been okay. I haven't bothered with decals because it's something I can't be bothered with. And also that badge is wrong. That badge should be black background and a silver emblem, but hey ho, that's what it is.